What's up, guys? Welcome back to Blueclouds TV. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Football Madness Live, brought to you by Blueclouds Media. We are back again with another exciting football game. So, Champions League game that just ended. Newcastle couldn't get it over the line, being eliminated. They're out of the Champions League group. Group stages, they're out of the Champions League. Couldn't make it to the next stage. We got a lot of news for you guys. The Chelsea transfer window is going explosive. I'll put it. It's going explosive in the January transfer window. Yes, lots of things going on right now. By the way, before I get into it, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Blueclouds Media YouTube channel. Subscribe to Blueclouds Media on Facebook and also join us on X. We are streaming live right there. Right now, Chelsea transfer window explosion is how I entitled today's stream. Drop a comment or your question below in the comment section below, and I will take my time to read them for you. Hakan Calhanoglu. It's what I'm talking about right now. Hakan Calhanoglu to replace Caicedo. 34 million player that Cesc Fabregas really recommend that Chelsea should get that player. He could be heading to Stamford Bridge here in the January transfer. We'll see how that goes on. And also we'll be looking at Romelu Lukaku, Chelsea striker, agrees a Saudi deal to ease FFP concern. 7 more stars on the chopping block. Yes, 7 more stars, 7 more players that will be heading out. 160 million Exodus is coming up to Chelsea. And also the last but not the least, Sarina, Wiegman, and Amy Hayes nominated for FIFA's Best Woman Coach of the Year. And also the men, there is in the women aspect also, but there is the coach for Barcelona who's also involved. So this is what we have for you guys today. Join us as we take you through the next hour of live streaming. Join us on live over here on Blueclouds Media YouTube channel. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back in a second. Thank you very much, Stephen G and Ryan. The big three are right here. We are going to talk about everything regarding association football, whatever that happened to the Champions League group stages. We will talk about it, but we're going to start with the main news first. Chelsea FC news. We'll get into the Champions League games. Guys, do not worry. I know there's been a big upset over there. Newcastle United couldn't make it, but we'll talk about that. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of today's topic. If you are in the comment section below, you're watching live, send your comment in there. Let me know where you're watching the stream from. And also, let me welcome my wonderful big three over here. Stephen G, Mr. Ryan, how you guys doing today?
Not bad.
It's Mr. Liverpool there.
I'm doing good, yeah.
You're here. How was your day, sir?
It was okay. Busy with work, and I caught the tail end of the Champions League matches today, so lots for us to discuss and review.
Absolutely. Your voice sound a little bit. I don't know. Have you been screaming or yelling for the past 2 hours?
I'm a little bit down with something.
Okay. All right. So I hope you get your voice back. Mr. Steven, how was your day?
Yeah, it was alright, I guess. There's not really much been going on, so it weren't too bad.
Okay. Yes, big up to the people that are already joining, wonderful people. KLC, Mr. Mod. Yes, Alpha, big up to Alpha, also in the building. I123 rapping the chat. Big up to you, wonderful people. I123 love you forever. Said hello, Nick Zion, Steven, and Ryan. It's good to see all of you guys again today. It's always a pleasure to have you here supporting the channel in that distance. KOC, big up to you. You're the mod of the platform also. You're not a mod, so you take care of everything and welcome everyone that joins the platform. Big up to my brother Alpha. Big up to Alpha. He said big up to KOC. KOC said, yes, Alpha, nice to meet you, bro. Absolutely. I love KOC. He liked doing that. All right. Todd Leber, big up to you, my brother. Todd said, hi, Nee, Steven, and Ryan. How are you all guys doing today? We are doing wonderful. Todd, we are doing wonderful. I saw Todd's comment on that link to that young Brazilian that Chelsea are in for. He said Chelsea will not amount to nothing. We're not achieving anything if they're only interested in just young players. How can we win the big games? How can we win the big games? I know I feel your pain, Todd. But in the news is there. We have to bring it out so people can know. So Alpha again is dropping the comments. It's really nice. Is it tight? Is it turtleneck, Mr. Need Zion? Oh, turtleneck. Oh, I get it. Absolutely. Thank you very much. I love this turtleneck. I got different colors of it. I just love it. Make me feel a little bit more executive. You know, when I throw my jacket on or my coat on, it makes me feel more executive. So thank you very much, Alpha, for liking my turtleneck. You know what? Snap. Thank you. All right, guys, let's get it going now. First one we're gonna start from. We're starting from Hakan. I'm sure I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Guys, if I don't pronounce it right, you guys need to help me out here. Hakan Calhanoglu. I've heard the last name is I'm familiar with the last name. Calhanoglu, I think another 20
I don't know the exact pronunciation, but it's something like Calhanoglu, something like that.
I've been hearing Calhanoglu, but I'm just pronouncing based on what I'm seeing. It's a KL, so Calhanoglu. But I think they pronounce it Calhanoglu in the Italian league. When I watch, I think Inter Milan play. That's a player that has been linked with Chelsea right now. He's around Steven. He's around 29 years old, right? 29 years old, 34 million.
I have to check again.
Yeah.
I'll get it up in literally 2 seconds.
He's a player. He's 29 years old. Cesc Fabregas have recommended him.
29, 5'10", so about the same height as Caicedo and Enzo.
Okay, so yeah, but there is some question marks over there. I'm not so sure if Ryan knows him that much, but I'm sure he knows the name. But Ryan, this guy has been linked with Chelsea. He has vast lots of experience in the Italian league. Should he be the guy to come in the midfield and help out, Mr.
Ryan? I recognize the name. He's Turkish, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's one of those players who might be like German-Turkish.
German-Turkish.
You know, like Ozil.
Yeah, Liverpool were linked with him. Similar to Ozil, yeah. Liverpool were linked with him a few years ago. I remember him most from the Champions League final. Yeah. Man City Inter. I think he started. Played quite well. He'd be an improvement on what you have in the midfield experience. He's not like strong and physical. He's not 6 foot plus, but he's a technical midfielder. Has a good engine. He's quite creative as well. So yeah, I think it's a good target if you can get him.
Okay. I think Todd is asking the question here. Let me attend to that question real quick so we don't forget to say, do you guys have any news on what Nottingham Forest is doing? Is doing our last. I think
they drew the last
game
1-0 with Wolves. Todd was happy about how they played with pride for Steve Cooper. Thought they played really hard.
Yeah, I've heard that they played. Okay, we'll come back to that one in a bit. Regarding Tottenham. Nottingham Forest. I don't know. I didn't see Santos play. Did Santos get it any minutes? Because I didn't see no one.
Santos didn't. But I think Steve Cooper's staying around for at least another game or two. I mean, it wouldn't make sense to sack him if I'm being honest, because if I'm not mistaken, you guys were in a similar situation. I think it was Forest were in a similar situation last year where they were considered sacking him. Then he got an extension and then they started playing well again. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that was Nottingham Forest that did that.
Okay. So that's what we have here. Thank you very much, Todd, for that tweet, the comment in there. We'll check into that. But Steve Cooper, I don't think they have to sack him. This man that have brought them to the Premier League, and why would they sack him? I think it will be too early. Just have to hold on a little bit, and let's see. But yeah, Stephen, back to Calhanoglu. Calhanoglu is the guy for the Italian league. Very, very experienced. Would it be of help? Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, and Gallagher. Can he be of help with his experience joining this young team? And looking at the price too, and we can look into his injury issues right now, Steven.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure it's the right move to make. So you've mentioned injuries. That's one of the things I mentioned when you sent it in the server.
Yeah.
So in the group. So if my maths is correct, he's had 26 injuries or illnesses and he's missed 45 games. But if we look at it, there's only one which was COVID, 2 that were COVID. So actually, it's only been 2 that were illnesses. So there's still 24 injuries in there. And with the COVID having it twice, he missed 8 games. So 24 injuries and 37 games missed in his career. And that's without the first injury he had, because the first injury was a very long one, but I can't find how many games he missed. But it was a meniscus injury and he missed basically the whole season because he got that in November 2016 and he was out till May 2017. So literally that whole season pretty much.
I think
also, one of the issues we have is, I touched on it when I was replying to you in the group chat, in terms of one of the issues we have is experience, but another issue is height. He only solves half that problem because he's the same height as I think both Caicedo and Enzo, because both are about 5'10", 5'11", and he's 5'10" as well. So getting him's like, okay, cool. So he's 29, he's more experienced. But then you look, he's got injuries and he's also about the same height as the players we've got. It's like, what's the point? Because we need that physical tool presence in midfield to help us win the aerial battle in midfield. But also just a general physical presence, someone who can muscle people off the ball and have no issues with that. And experience. You need all of that. You need to add someone in midfield who's experienced, but is tall and physical. So they can body people off the ball and win it without having to slide in, for example, or stick a foot in. And they can also help our younger players, due to the fact they're experienced. They can teach them things that they've learned throughout their career that helped improve, say, how they help them improve, say, I don't know, maybe their diet, for example. Maybe they had issues and then they sorted their diet, and then maybe things got better for them in certain aspects of their, like, say, physical, which meant they weren't as injured as much and stuff like this. So that's the sort of thing that they could do, as well as generally just giving them advice. And that's one of the reasons you need that experience. But yeah, I've got my reservations about him. I don't know where you stand on him. I'm curious as to where you stand.
It's not a player that I will go in for. If he has to come in for just 2 seasons or maybe 1 season, then I'll be okay with that. But the age. But looking at him playing, I've watched some highlights on him. He's very, very good on the ball and passes very, very well. And he comes with experience. And that's what we're lacking in the midfield. If you watch our last 2 games that we've played, the midfield is not there. And every experienced players will tell you, or managers will tell you, if you control the midfield, you win the game. That is what Barcelona has been doing. That is what Manchester City has been doing. They control the midfield. They pass it very well. They hold on to the ball very, very well. They don't lose it. And they make you run after them and chase them after them many times, and you get frustrated, you get tired. That's what they did to, I think, was it Sheffield United or Luton Town? One of the games that they played. So he is very good. In that aspect, if he can come, they need to get certain players in the January transfer window. So I won't rule that out. I'll be okay if they give a 3 years contract. He shouldn't be a player that will play all the time. He can come back from the bench, maybe in the 70th minute, either he can get Enzo Fernandez out or Caicedo out, one of them. So this guy can use his experience and control the midfield, because our midfield doesn't exist for the last 2 games that we've played. The midfield is just depleted. They are not there. So I think Steven, the 3-year deal will be good for me. That's what I'll say. 3-year deal will be good for me. Steven, Ryan, I'm not so sure. You said something about him. Would you think that he would be better? Ryan, he's there. Ryan is still there.
I'm here.
Is he?
Yeah, he's there. Yeah.
He's not showing on my thing. I can only see 2, so I thought his connection went.
Yeah, Ryan is there. I can see him. The reason why you can see him, I made another one which was it shows just 2 people with a big camera. Yeah. So, but when I take it back,
cutting me out.
Yeah.
You're confusing me, man.
When I take it back, you see Ryan is right there. When I take it back, that's Ryan down there.
You're confusing me. I thought his connection went.
No, it makes the camera very, very small. That's just by the way. So yeah, Ryan's. I don't know if Ryan have watched him play before, maybe watch Italian League one way or the other. I've seen his play. But look, 29 years old. Ryan, would you fancy him? 29 years old.
Not for Liverpool. Like I said, he was good in the Champions League final, but he's a player who, like both of you mentioned, he's got good dribbling technique. He's known for his free kicks, but he lacks physical attributes. He's not strong, and he's not quick either. He lacks pace. That's like the biggest criticism that Inter fans have leveled at him. He's good that he's versatile. He can play DM, he can play deep line, playmaker, he can play attacking midfield. So he's got versatility. I could see him playing, alongside Caicedo and Enzo, like maybe ahead of them in a 3, or playing with Caicedo or Enzo in the two holding midfield positions. But yeah, I would worry his lack of pace. When you have in the Premier League, you have to press with a lot of intensity when you don't have the ball. You might end up with a player like a Bruno Fernandes or a Jorginho, where he's just the game's just gonna pass him by too quickly in the Premier League.
And I understand he doesn't have the pace, but look at the players that we have at Chelsea right now. We have lots of pacey attacking players, wingers that are very, very fast. But what we are lacking is the one that can have those that eye for those final those passes. And if this guy, if we understand his game, It's just like looking at Marcus Alonso and trying to criticize Marcus Alonso for his pace. And we all know Marcus Alonso don't have that pace. But then you use Marcus Alonso in a better way where he can get you goals, playing him as a winger up there and having your left back getting close to him to help him out. But then when you have Alonso in, you know you can get goals. Having this guy in, forget about the pace. You have players that will help him out so he can give those accurate passes for the attackers to finish. Wouldn't you fancy that?
Yeah, I mean, his stats look good. He scored 7 goals, I think, for Inter this season, only in 20 appearances. So he's got goals and assists in his locker. It's just how you find the balance. If you play him in the middle, you don't want to imbalance the midfield and then take away the pace and the aggression, because that's not this guy's attributes. He's not a physical player. He's not an aggressive player. He needs time on the ball.
Which you don't get in the Premier League.
Which you don't get in the Premier League.
Yeah. I agree with you, Mr. Ryan. I agree with you. Mr. Ryan, guys, if you don't know Mr. Ryan, he's a great Liverpool supporter. And he gave us a different perspective on how we Chelsea fans see some other players. We got 7 of us watching live on YouTube. So, guys, if you're part of us, do not forget, it's very, very important for the platform. Please do us a favor. Don't forget to like and share, subscribe to Blueclouds Media YouTube channel. And also, you can find us live on X and also Blueclouds Media on Facebook. Thank you very much. We're going to move on from Calhanoglu. My goodness, Calhanoglu. We're going to move on from him. I'm sure Ryan is a little bit down and up in terms of what he can do, but to him, Liverpool, not for him. But then he could help. Looking at his statistics and what he has. He can help Chelsea. We have a lot of topics to talk about. We've already streamed for 22 minutes on one player, so we're going to move on from there. But before I move on, I have some few comments over here. Big up to Metaphase Doom. Big up to you, my brother. He said UTC. He's on the platform. Gulam Mustafa, sorry, I had to take care of some things behind the scenes, so that's why my streams have been a little bit late this day. So big up, he said big up me and Steven, and Ryan is also here. I know you did not see Ryan when you joined, but Ryan is there. Yeah, he's been quiet behind the scene. Yeah, Ryan is there. KFC said Hakam don't think. He doesn't think we will sign him. He doesn't think we're gonna sign that guy. But yeah, it's in the news, so we're discussing Hakam right now. In fact, Steven, we have the second smallest team in the Prem, which is true. Gulam Mustafa says change the stream time. It's past my bedtime. Sorry, Gulam. Get some sleep. We'll catch you again tomorrow. Metaphase Doom said we need pedigree players that are elite. Then we have another one from KFC. Would you guys, excuse me, would you guys pay 112 million euros release clause for pounds for Osimhen? I mean, why wouldn't you? He's not going to come cheaper. 112, I think it's within 120, right? 120 euros.
No, 130 euros.
130 euros. So it will probably be around 150, 170
in US
dollars.
141.
Yeah. All right. We'll have the Osimhen topic there. So KOC, we'll get right into that topic. Do not don't worry. We'll get back to the Osimhen topic. We're moving on from Hakan Calhanoglu. We're moving on from there. We're going to go to the next one is Romelu Lukaku. Steven, Lukaku is in the news again. Not a bad for any bad reason, but something good that Chelsea fans will be happy about. Lukaku out. Chelsea striker agrees Saudi deal to ease FFP concern. He has agreed with the price is not there, but lots of millions. He'll be joining the Saudi league, according to reports coming from the Italian league. If I can remember the main the source, if I remember the source, I'll bring it out so we can talk about it. All right, Steven. Ryan, Lukaku. I'm not sure if you've seen his news around regarding Romelu Lukaku agreeing a deal.
I think I saw it briefly. I know sort of what you're talking about. but I've seen two different reports that contradict each other, so I don't know what to believe at this point. Because I saw one that you're mentioning about there's some sort of agreement that he may potentially be going Saudi. And then I saw another one that said something about he could continue at Roma or something. I think was that one. So I don't know what to believe at this point. I just want him gone.
Yes, we'll not stay too long on Lukaku. Mr. Ryan, what do you make of this news? Lukaku agreeing to join the Saudi League.
I haven't actually seen it, but if it's true, then great. Happy days. Can move on. Chelsea can move on, and good luck to him. He's 30 years old, so he's still got probably a few more peak years in him.
About 5 more years in that league.
Yeah. And he's scored a lot of goals for Belgium this year, hasn't he? This calendar year. So he's done well internationally. I'm sure one of the big Saudi teams, Al Hilal or Al Nasser, whichever one, will end up with Al Ittihad.
There's so many benefit. That could do it that are under ownership by Newcastle.
Yeah, contract wealth to be lots of money, millions. You're talking about millions, millions, lots of money. But I won't spend too much time on the Romelu Lukaku over here. I'll move on from Lukaku. The next one we'll be talking about, it's Chelsea, 7 more stars on the chopping block. As 160 million exodus is coming to Chelsea. Chelsea have 7 players that they have to get them out of the football club to be able to spend more money on them. So they'll make money on them. They have to send 7 players.
3 or 4 of them.
7 players. So you get to...
I could probably guess 3 or 4 of them, to be honest.
What do you have? Chalobah, one of them.
I'd imagine Chalobah, Martson, Gallagher, and Breyer are among the 7 that were mentioned.
Breyer. If Gallagher is one of them...
I don't know if they're the 7 mentioned from the article you're talking about, but I'm pretty sure on the first 2 or 3, Breyer's the one where I've not seen anything about. I don't think Gallagher will go, despite what reports say. I don't believe that for a second. But I have seen reports about him, so that's why I included him. I don't think he will go, though. I think Chalobah will go, Martson will go. Maybe Breyer, I guess, because he'll be straight profit. And if we bring in a striker, they're not going to get rid of Jackson already.
Ryan, 7 players to leave Chelsea Football Club. They need to spend almost about 160 million to bring in some new players. Madness at Chelsea, right?
Obviously, you're not going to be able to sell 7 in one window, so I'm sure.
We did 12. Stephen, Ryan, we did 10 of them in one window. Why not 7?
Yeah, but this is a January transfer window.
Yeah,
it'll be more difficult.
Also, I'd imagine.
Like Stephen. Yeah, I mean, there's some surprising names that I've seen. I was looking yesterday. Disasi was one of the ones I saw on a list. He might be up for sale, which I thought was surprising because he's featured this season. And then Gallagher, that would be just a really big mistake, in my opinion. This is a Liverpool fan saying that would be a mistake for Chelsea to sell him. He was captain in your last game, and he would probably fetch the most in terms of a transfer fee, just given his age and the potential he has. But no, I think you have to try everything to commit him to sign a contract extension.
Do you know what I find interesting, right? I said the other day, people always say Bowley this, Bowley that, yeah? Bowley stepped away from the sporting side of things January last year. So basically 12 months ago, yeah?
I hope it's not what I'm thinking. Go ahead, Stephen.
Since then, obviously we've got directors like Lawrence Stewart, Win Stanley, and them lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's them, and sometimes it's Bedad Degbali, which is one of the 2 people from Clear Lake. Now, what I'm going to say is that Tuchel wanted to get rid of Gilmore, yeah? And Todd Bowley tried to stop it, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there was a similar thing with Lewis Hall as well, in terms of he wouldn't have probably wanted to get rid of him. But it seems like in the last 6 or so months, more of the Cobham players have been linked with leaving or have left, whether it like on permanence or are regularly linked with links away permanently and stuff like that. Whereas when Bowley was in, he tried to stop us getting rid of some of the Cobham players. So I feel like Bowley likes the Cobham players more than what Bedad Egbali does, and that Bowley would prefer to give some more of them a chance. Like, I don't think we would have done the Hall deal if Todd Bowley was still involved on the sporting side of things. I genuinely don't. And then you see the outrage from the fans as well. Like 90% of the fans were like basically livid that Hall's gone with what appears to be an obligation to buy.
So what I heard earlier on is people were trying to point fingers and saying that they haven't seen Bowley around. It's like Bowley have neglected the club, something like that. And I was like, oh my goodness, these same people who were criticizing Bowley being around the stadium, being around the club all the time, are now saying that they don't see Bowley anymore. He's neglected the football club. He has people employed to take care of it and to do the job, because he is not a technical director. He's not a coach. What does he need to be in there for? He comes around
also,
when he have to.
You got to think, right? Outside of sports, like, this guy is a billionaire. He's got a massive business as well. Like, he doesn't just own sports clubs. Like, if we want to talk specifically sports, he's got part ownership of the Lakers. He's got the ownership of the Dodgers. One of the owners of the Dodgers is that Mark Walter guy, who also is one of the co-owners of Chelsea as well. Like, Bowley doesn't have to be seen all the time. Like, he's the face of the ownership. He's not the majority of the ownership. And I think that's why he gets a lot of the blame, even though he shouldn't, because he's not the majority owner. Yes, he took on the aspect of being a sporting director for one window. But what they did at the Dodgers under him, it took him, I think, 3 years to start really getting successful, right? But went out, hired the best in class, yeah? Hired the best people, and you give I think he said it himself in the interview, essentially, you get the best people, you give them the resources, and you let them do what they do best. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's it look like he's doing? It looks like he's gone, okay, I'm going to focus more on the business side than I am on the sporting side. So you'd imagine he's probably involved quite a lot when it comes to commercial deals and stuff like that, rather than the sporting side now. So it's got to be interesting. If people want to keep blaming him, they should know that he's not the one that, out of any of the owners, that could be involved on the sporting side anymore. He stepped back 12 months ago.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Mr. Ryan, do you have anything you want to chip in regarding this situation? Bully and anything? No,
I think I agree with what Stephen was saying. I couldn't get it. So no, nothing further from me on this.
All right, so thank you very much, guys. If you're just joining us live on the show on YouTube right now, we've discussed Romelu Lukaku out. Chelsea striker agrees a deal, Saudi deal in to ease up FFP. That's also, we talk about 7 more players that will be leaving the January transfer window. Chelsea have to come up with a amount of £160 million exodus on the January transfer window. And also, plus, we've talked about Sarina. That's the one we'll be talking about later. Sarina Wiegman and Emma Hayes nominated for FIFA Best Woman Coach, and also the coach for the Barcelona women's team is also added. It's also in there, and I think he might win it. Although there are two strong women in that nomination, that man might win it because Barcelona have won everything on this continent in terms of Champions League, number of games they've won. They perform very, very well. So yeah, we will talk about that later. So guys, be my guest. If you're just joining us, don't forget to like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you are watching us live. Thank you very much for doing that. So we're gonna move on from there. But some few questions that I want to ask regarding the Exodus. We're gonna finish the stream with the Sarina Wiegman and Emmy Hayes nomination. But we'll talk about certain players right now. Steven, we've signed this. Steven and Ryan, we've signed these players for quite a lot of money. Madueke is one of them. Nuno Madueke is one of them. Modric is also one of them. He's been a little bit impressive, but not consistent enough. What are we doing with Madueke right now? What's the future lies for Madueke? Is it part of the 7 players that will be shipped away in the January transfer window? Let me start from Steve. Ryan, sorry, Ryan.
Oh, possibly, yeah. Just if you look at the competition in the squad in his position, and he's clearly not the number one, so he could fetch a good transfer fee, and he's still young, so there's plenty of time for him to move to another Premier League club and kickstart his career, get regular playing time. But he's a player, I've only seen glimpses of him in a Chelsea shirt. He impresses me. He's got something about him. He's got that trickery and the end product as well when it comes to crossing and good vision. But he looks better for the England under 21s than he does, I guess, for Chelsea. But he's just not getting enough regular playing time. He was injured, wasn't he, for a period?
Yeah, I think he was injured. But to me,
injured, and then there was a bit of a punishment as well on top of that. Well,
that was when he was injured. He went to a nightclub when he was injured without asking permission.
Okay. Definitely in the under 21s. Virtually, he looks too good, like for the under 21 level when you see him play. He could unfortunately be one who's sacrificed and sold.
Whenever I see him, I think that he just is lacking a little bit of the end product is not there that much to me when I see him play. He's very good. He runs the channel. I think sometimes he overdoes it, or maybe he commit too much. I don't know what, Stephen, how you see Madueke. Does he really have a future at Chelsea?
Based on what we're seeing at the moment, I'd say no, because he seemed like he was sort of briefly frozen out for a few games because of what happened. And then after that, he's been in squads, but I don't think he's really got any minutes since he's come back. So you've got to ask a question, man. You've got to ask a question. He'll probably go on loan, to be honest. That's my opinion. He'll probably go on loan and then probably see what happens in the summer. Probably loan him for 6 months, see what happens in the summer.
Ryan, why is every player linked with Chelsea used to be a Chelsea supporter wearing Chelsea jersey? Ryan. Luis Dunk is also another player linked with Chelsea. He used to be a Chelsea supporter.
Yeah.
I was told Van Dijk.
We're just going back to what was that, Sarina?
Van Dijk. I was told he used to support Chelsea too.
No, rubbish.
I just brought that up. I'm lying. That's not true. That's not true. Or maybe McAllister. He used to be a Chelsea supporter. Caicedo, Chelsea supporter. Lavia, Chelsea supporter.
I guess the question you got to ask me as well, you have to be fair to Madueke. Like, would a 21-year-old Raheem Sterling be right for Chelsea at this moment? Would he be good enough, do you think, a 21-year-old Raheem Sterling?
No, probably no.
So maybe, Stephen's right. He needs a loan, and don't cut him off completely and sell him. He's definitely got talent. He's not. He's a like Cole Palmer, isn't he? Like a left-footed, right-sided player.
Yeah, he's a left-footed player who plays on the right-hand side because you always want to cut in. Yeah.
But Cole Palmer is just a better player than him. Similar age, similar profile. Cole Palmer's better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both are left-footed, but like playing on the right.
I don't know if he's part of the 7 players. Probably yes, but I don't think that they have to sell Gallagher. If they want to do something in regards to these 2 players, Gallagher and Madueke, send them out on loan in the Premier League. If Chelsea wants to better the squad, send them out on loan. Maybe a Sheffield United. Some of the teams that are struggling.
Keep him.
Gallagher, maybe Newcastle United, or maybe Everton, or maybe Aston Villa. Send him out there. And what do you say, Stephen?
You don't loan out Gallagher, man. If Gallagher goes, it's got to be on a permanent. You don't loan him out now. You either keep him or you sell him. I think we'll keep him, but also saying Everton, you can't send Gallagher of all players to Everton. He's got to go to one of the teams like an Aston Villa or someone like that.
Why don't you fancy Everton?
Nah, man. I would never send people to Everton, man.
But why? Look at how they're playing football. They're not defending.
Yeah, but then
they don't
you
just
know
sit
what
deep.
Everton are like.
Play
in
us.
A couple of months, Everton could be fighting relegation going into the last few games of the season again.
You think
we don't know? They could just go on a really bad run. I'm not saying they're going to, because at the moment they would have had more points than us without a deduction. But there's also reports they may go into administration, which is even more points deducted.
Again?
So, yeah, if they go into administration, it'd be more points deducted. So, if they do go into administration, it's more points deducted, then they're right back into fighting relegation. So, don't send anyone there, for goodness sake.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
You're right.
Yeah. Goodness. So what would you consider Chelsea saying Gallagher to besides Everton? Aston Villa. Would you like Aston Villa or maybe Nottingham Forest or something like that?
I'd prefer it not to be in the Premier League, but I don't think he'll want to move outside of the Premier League, which is an issue. To be honest, I think he would love to stay at Chelsea. I think he genuinely is a Chelsea boy. He would love to stay here. I don't think we'll have any issues with him. And I don't think he will go. I think it's just paper talk to make headlines because we know what they love to do when it's Chelsea. Oh, let's make headlines.
He's good enough to play for Villa, but he wouldn't find it easy to get into that team.
No, but then you compare that to someone like an Everton, it's a bit different. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Everton's different. Yeah,
or a Newcastle.
He will be a starter.
I'd put him to a Newcastle, especially with the whole thing with their midfield at the moment.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like Gallagher is on the wrong field. He has to be like an an English actor or something like that. Action movies. Look at the way he pulled his head, but looks like a guy that did the Beastmaster or something like that. Put some more muscle on, man. You be the main character, and every Chelsea fan will be watching his movie. I think he's on the wrong field. Put him in the movies. Yeah. All right, that's offbeat. All right, Steven, Ryan, we are just running out of time. We're gonna put that aside. We've the last one we're gonna talk about is MEA. I think no. I think before we still have another one to talk about, which is the Champions League results. We're gonna talk about some of the results today.
I've sent you screenshots of the 4 groups that played today.
Right. But before we get to the Champions League group stage and then some of the games that was being played today, unfortunately, we can't show the highlights. It would be nice if we can show the highlights on our screen. That would be nice. That would be crispy. But we can't do that. But we look at Emmy Hay, and Sarina Wiegman, Stephen. Emmy Hay, our lady, our mama, our mother. She is in contention again for FIFA award. I don't think she's gonna win it. I just took the other guy off because I don't see him. Why should he be there competing with these wonderful women? I think Sarina Wiegman will beat MH to the second place.
I think Barca won the Women's Champions League.
Yeah,
so that'd be why.
That'd be why, yeah. But I'm saying Sarina Wiegman will beat Emmy Hay for the second place. So Emmy Hay will definitely be the third. She will take the third place until she pulls something out next year with the US women national team. And then definitely football, everything for her.
Chelsea women win the Champions League.
Yes, Chelsea women win the Champions League, and then after she moves, she goes to Barcelona and do wonders over there. Mr. Ryan, I know you're not a fan of. You're not a fan. You don't really have much time to watch the women. I wouldn't say the fan, but you don't have much time to watch the women's game. But I know you've heard some news regarding Sarina Wiegman and Emmy Hay. You've seen their profile, or maybe you've heard some of the good things they've done so far. What's your thoughts on this award nominee?
Yeah, for the the FIFA best coach,
best
right?
women's coach. But I think there's a mistake on this award. Best women's coach, but there's a man in it.
I get what you're saying.
Barcelona one, yeah.
It's a technicality because they mean women's
football
coaches.
Yeah.
But I do get what you're saying because it is kind of deceiving because they do call it best women's coach. Whereas even though it doesn't sound the same, if they put best women's team coach, then you understand it.
Yeah, women's team. That makes a lot of sense.
You wouldn't go best men's coach and have actually you could. I'm not saying you can't. Just I'm explaining how certain people in society see things. If you had FIFA best men's coach and you had a women's candidate in there, there'll be uproar about it. I'm just saying. Because that's how certain people in society think. They think that it shouldn't be that way. But then because it's called FIFA Best Women's, we all know they mean like women's team.
But do you think a child who's not thinking further, a kid or a grade 5, or I wouldn't say grade 5, maybe a grade 3 or grade 4, grade 5 kid who's not thinking ahead might think that, okay, we have a women's coach, but there's a man in between them. That's why I cut a man off because Ryan, what do you think? We're trying to get into grammar over here.
I get what you're saying, by the way.
Yeah. I think obviously there's gender bias in football, and we're trying to, as a football community, tackle it. And but yeah, I think with these awards, you really have to try to put that aside to an extent and just look at the job the manager's done, whether it's a male or a female.
Right. So yeah, I think what we have, you have 3 of them in there, but I just took the man out. I'm just focusing on these 2 wonderful women, which is Sarina Wiegman, who I think that would turn out being the second place. Then Emmy Hay will be the third person in that regard. But yeah, the Champions League draw, we'll be talking about the Champions, not the draw, but the games. We'll be looking at the group stages also, as Stephen has shared some of the images with me. Stephen, want to take us through some of the images whilst
just
the
quickly,
results?
Right? Yeah. One thing I will say on this, and this isn't biased, yeah, they genuinely are, if we're talking as women and not managers and coaches of women's teams, they are the 2 best. Factually, they're the 2 best. You look at what both of them have done in the women's game.
Yeah.
And what they've achieved, whether it be on the pitch or like helping the game grow in the women's game. arguably the 2 best. And that's not biased because one's England and one's Chelsea. That's just factually, like, you see how highly people speak of them.
Yeah. I do agree with you. I do agree with you 100%. And hey, I'm just praying that she can win something huge. She's done a lot of job.
I hope she does it. Destiny, man. Destiny. Let's get that Champions League.
Yeah, she's done a lot of work from Arsenal to Chelsea. And I can't believe she's been there for 10 years. I didn't hear much about her until 5 years.
First 12 games?
Yeah.
At Chelsea, she lost, I think it was her first 11. She lost 11 of her first 12 games. And since then, she's lost 12 games across the remaining years that she's been at Chelsea. Wow. Do you know how mad that is? So in total, she's lost like 23 games as Chelsea manager. I don't know if that was in a league or I think that was all competitions, I'd imagine. But do you know how insane that is? You lose 11 of the first 12 and then you don't lose another, like, don't hit the 12th until literally the Arsenal game weekend just gone.
All right, so let's go through the some of the results today. I think we're looking at Group F. We're going to start from I think
that's Group.
I think it didn't come with the first one.
F.
We have H.
You should be at Group E. There's one before it. That's Group E, and Group G. There you go.
That one.
Yeah. No. So the Atletico Madrid one is Group E, but I had to cut it off to fit Group F as well.
Okay, so Atletico Madrid, the one up there is Atletico Madrid came up with 14 points. Lazio came up with 10 points. Feyenoord 6 points. Celtic 4. So Atletico Madrid and Lazio have made it through the group stages.
When Feyenoord will play a second place Europa League team. So So Feyenoord is still in Europe, but they'll play a second place team from the Europa League in like a playoff knockout round type thing.
Any surprises in here, Ryan and Steven?
Celtic.
I'd
expect Celtic
I'd say probably
at least get into Europa League.
Celtic is not a surprise.
It is compared to like Feyenoord and that. Like, I know Celtic don't have the best history in Europe in recent years, but I'd still expect them to get more than one win and to get into at least Europa.
No, hold on. If you say that Celtic is surprising, I don't know what Ryan have to say about what something Ryan will come in. If you say Celtic is surprising, to me, it's not a surprise to me because they haven't go beyond this stage in over 6-8 years. They haven't gone beyond this stage in a very, very long time. So it's not a surprise. It's always Feyenoord that Feyenoord is also not a surprise to me because they do better than Celtic. So Celtic is not a surprise to me. I expect Atletico Madrid and Lazio to make it through. Feyenoord taking the third place is not bad.
Celtic to me are better than Feyenoord. Celtic should at least be getting third in my opinion.
Oh, to me, Feyenoord have produced lot of talent in the past. Lot of. If you can remember.
No, but now you're talking about players of the past, not like traditionally how they've done in Europe, right? So in Europe, Celtic don't have the best history in recent years, but based on that group, I would still expect them to get third.
But Steven, if they haven't gone beyond this group in over 5-6 years. Should it be a surprise to you by not seeing them in the third? Going beyond Feyenoord. You get what I'm saying?
Well, based on the teams, I would and what they've got, I would expect Celtic to have gone through yet. Okay. To at least Europa League. I'm not saying top 2.
Yeah,
I'm saying third. Also, by the way, Celtic did beat Feyenoord tonight as well.
Oh, okay.
They did beat them 2-1 tonight. That was the only win Celtic got this season.
Right. Is it a surprise for you, Celtic?
Not really. I think I probably agree with you. They've never gotten out of the group stage, have they, and qualified for the knockout rounds. I know they've got knocked out of like the qualifying phase of the Champions League and then gone parachuted into the Europa League and done quite well via that route. But maybe I get what Stephen's saying. On paper, probably could have. They would have themselves expected to at least achieve third, so they've underachieved, unfortunately.
Okay, we'll speed up a little bit. We're gonna look at Group F before we go through the next one. So whilst you still have Group F in here, Group F, Ryan and Steve, we have Dortmund, PSG making it through. Milan, Newcastle United couldn't make it. Any surprises in here? To me, the only surprise here is I'm expecting PSG to lead or to be on top of this group. This group was tagged as the group of death from beginning when the draw was being made. Newcastle United, it wasn't a surprise. It was a good start from them going to Paris Saint-Germain, beating PSG fairly, and then also came back home and did a good job on PSG. And they started very well, but then we all know they don't have enough players. The squad depth was gonna be a problem for them. So I'm not surprised Newcastle couldn't make it. But Milan, I'm expecting Milan should have done better. And PSG, with a lot of money being spent in the football club, second place to me is a surprise. I'm expecting Dortmund to be on the third place, PSG first, Milan second. So there's a surprise over here. Stephen.
See, for me, it's not even necessarily the final position of PSG in terms of them being second and qualifying, right? The shock isn't that they qualified. The shock is that for a fair while tonight, because of how tight it was, they were actually dropping into the Europa League. They should have already been qualified before tonight for the next round of the Champions League. It should never have been this close. It should never have been down to the last game between three teams to go through. Those two, Dortmund and PSG, in my opinion, should have had it locked up. Dortmund, I think, quality. I actually very respect their team. But like you said, group of death, those top three could have had it anyway. Newcastle, they put up a good fight, but in the end, their squad depth with injuries and the Tonali bans hurt them. But look, at one point, they were second in that group tonight. They were leading Milan, and Dortmund were getting what they needed to do on their side of things against PSG. If that Newcastle team had held out for a 1-0 win, they would have been second place tonight because of Dortmund drew with PSG. So what it was PSG had to essentially get something from this game, right?
Yeah.
It was Newcastle could overtake PSG because head-to-head, but I don't think Newcastle could overtook PSG on head-to-head. Hence why, not Newcastle, Milan couldn't. Hence why Milan are third, because head-to-head, right? But if the Dortmund PSG result ends as 1-0 as it did, and the Newcastle result ends as a 1-0, Newcastle was second. That's how tight that group was. You had three teams that could have all gone through. Actually, you know what? I say three teams that could have all gone into second. There was the final place of qualification from that group was between three teams. But any one of those four teams, Dortmund included, could have finished second tonight. If PSG won, Dortmund would have been second in that group. If PSG drew or lost and Newcastle won, Newcastle is second.
Yeah.
If PSG lost and Milan won, Milan is second. That's how mad that group is.
Just to reinforce Stephen's point, how tight this group was, you go back to the match day 2, second set of games. Newcastle were top of the group. Dortmund were bottom. The whole thing is just flipped.
Upside down.
It's incredible. That's how tight it was.
It's not easy.
It just goes to show how quickly it can change in Champions League.
Ryan and Steven, should we put it this way that all the people or all these billionaires that have put money in football clubs, like top big team football clubs like Chelsea have done it. Is it supposed to be let's say they all think the idea of thinking of winning the Champions League, right? The vows to win the Champions League. Is it going to be in these regards, not sending order? Whoever buy the football club in Europe and put in money will win it. Will win it before the other. I'm not so sure about the. I think Chelsea did it before Etihad. Manchester City did it, right? And then PSG came in. Now it's Newcastle United. Is that how it should go?
Oh, you mean in terms of getting the money, is what you said?
No, in terms of winning the Champions League.
Oh, yeah, Chelsea we won it in 2012. Then we beat Man City a couple years ago. And then Man City only won it last year.
So I'm saying that it has to be in that ascending order. Whoever bought the football club first wins the Champions League. So next one, I think the billionaires that bought the football club, which is Manchester City, they won it secondly. So next person to win the Champions League would definitely be PSG. Who knows if next season or the following season before Newcastle United. You get what I'm trying to say?
Do you know what's interesting about that? You say that about Chelsea, Man City, and PSG, right?
Yeah.
Chelsea lost in Moscow, 2008. Chelsea won it in 2012, their second ever Champions League final. Yeah. PSG
in Munich
lost it the year before we won it the second time. Right?
Yeah.
So now you've got Chelsea lost their first one. They won their second and third. PSG lost their first one. They've not been to another one since. Yeah. Man City lost their first one. They won their second one. So if PSG then go and win their second one if they make it, that is really weird.
That's what I've been thinking about. That's what I've been thinking about right now. I think PSG have messed up over there. If you're not careful, it will take them forever. It was going to take them forever because after Chelsea lost it in 2008, they went on 2010. They couldn't win it. They were very, very close to winning where they got.
Even the next year, we were robbed the next year. The next year was the whole it's a disgrace game because of, let's be honest, we know that was dodgy. We know that was corrupt because if we'd won that game, you would have had the exact same final again. You would have had Chelsea versus Man U back-to-back years.
And UEFA didn't want to see that.
You know UEFA wanted a Spanish team in there. You couldn't have Messi not in the Champions League final.
Ryan, you can jump in if you have anything.
No, PSG have messed up. I mean, they finished second in the group. They're going to have to play in the round of 16, the second leg away from home. So they'll have to go to maybe an Emirates or an Allianz Arena or Etihad or Camp Nou for a second leg. I can't see them going there and putting in a performance and winning. I think they'll get knocked out in the next stage.
KFC said the Champions League needs Chelsea. Absolutely. When Chelsea name is in there, that's when you can hear better music.
Yeah, let's not get into. You know that gets booed a lot as well, by the way.
Yeah, KFC, thank you very much for your comment. Stevie G said at KFC, like I said, there's several.
I said. So I think someone had mentioned it in my server in Discord, and I said, like, genuinely, Chelsea have. I think we failed to qualify from the group one time, I think. And that time, we went on to win the Europa League. We won the Champions League in 2012.
At Benfica, right?
We won the Champions League in 2012. We got knocked out of the Champions League as a holders in 2013. And then we went on to win the Champions League, the Europa League that season under Benitez. The two times that Chelsea have been in Europa League, we've only ever been in it 2 times. Yeah. One of those times we got knocked out of the Champions League as third place to get into the Europa League. We went on to win it against Benfica. The other time we qualified for it through other means, it weren't related to getting knocked out the Champions League group, and we beat Arsenal in the final, where you then had the moment of Giroud on the bus, where there's that video of Giroud saying, "Thank you, Arsenal," in Eden Hazard's last game.
Ryan, what you want to say? Ryan was saying something.
No, it's completely off topic. Just you were singing the Champions League, and it reminded me. I saw some viral video on social media. Some guy played that at his wedding. It was quite funny.
Ryan, do you guys miss the Champions League?
Bride was coming out and he was playing. Yeah,
they've done a similar tune compared to the women game. Also, it's similar. It sounds almost the same, but I love it. I'm sure probably it's a French composer. They've composed those sound, those music. Yeah. So we're gonna move on from there. We don't have much time. Steven.
What do you think of this comment? What do you think of this comment from KFC?
Sorry about that. KFC said United and Newcastle are an embarrassment to Champions League. You didn't add Liverpool to it.
No, but they weren't in it.
Okay. I think I wouldn't say Newcastle were embarrassment to Champions League. I think United, they were shambolic. They did not perform well. United, the squad that they have.
Consider how easy their group was.
Yeah, look at United's group and compared to Newcastle's group.
Bro, we get out of United's group this year, even with how we've played. Bayern Munich, Copenhagen, aka Copenhagen, and Galatasaray. You're telling me we don't do enough to get out that group? I don't believe it.
Aston Villa will beat them pounds now, up and down. If Nottingham Forest will give
United got one win. Like, they actually only got one win. They drew to Galatasaray game week 5. They beat Copenhagen, I think it was game week 4. Their only win was Copenhagen in game week 4.
Ryan and Steven, I'm saying Sheffield United or maybe Luton Town will make it difficult for Copenhagen. Trust me.
No. I can't back that one. I can't.
Are you sure?
I can't back that one.
What?
All right.
What?
That's too far.
How about Everton? Wouldn't they make it difficult for Copenhagen? No. Home and away.
I'll tell you who could make it difficult for them, yeah? West Ham. West Ham could make it difficult for them.
Yeah, KLC, I agree with you. Champions League need Chelsea and Liverpool. Absolutely. Not this, these Red Devils, they call them. They're a load of shit.
Do you know what the best one is? So, I'm not sure if I mentioned it at the time. There was a point where Nice were considering Graham Potter as manager, yeah? Ineos, Jim Ratcliffe's company, yeah? Nice. They were looking at Graham Potter. I think Nice is run by Ratcliffe's brother or brother-in-law or something like that.
I think brother.
Yeah, one is essentially brother, whatever. But now he's acquiring a percentage of Man United, and all the talk is United are going to get Graham Potter. I can't wait till they get smashed 8-9-0 by someone like a Liverpool, an Arsenal, a City. And he goes, the boys gave everything. Get ready, because if they get Potter, I am laughing and I am trolling every United fan that I know, because it's gonna be fun to turn the tables on them.
All right, these are very, very funny group over here. Manchester City, Leipzig, Young Boys, and etc. And if you look down there, here says that at the end of the season, in the event that 2 or more teams have an number of points following. Rube breaks the tie head-to-head, 2 goals, different goals scored during the tournament. The following tie-breaking procedures are used: goal difference, 2 goals scored. So if you look at this group, I'm not so sure the name of the group, but it's Manchester City making it out.
No, that's Group G.
Group G. I think they got City got 18 points, Leipzig 12, Young Boys 4. Then we have what's his name?
That's I don't know the exact pronunciation. I think it's like Zvena Zvezda. It's Red Star Belgrade.
Oh, they've changed the name. Oh, yeah, that's the one you were saying yesterday.
Actual name. So you know how I was saying earlier, Copenhagen. That's Copenhagen, right? That Copenhagen's the actual name, but we call them Copenhagen. So Red Star Belgrade is what we call them, but what they have there is the actual name.
Yeah. KFC, thank you very much. I don't think are there any surprises in here? We'll talk about this one in a bit. KFC said Nizayan what happened to Stav, the guy who was
KFC group chat. Go to group chat.
Yeah,
that can be discussed in there. Let's not touch on that here.
We'll give you an answer in the group chat. We can discuss this one on the platform here. Yes, we can talk about that. Stephen Ryan, any surprises in here? I don't see any surprise. I think City
Man City
first, but Man City group.
Yeah, no surprises.
Yeah,
no surprise.
No surprises. Yeah. Red Star Belgrade were statistically the worst team in the group stage. They only managed to record 1 point, which is a draw.
But look, let's
forget Red Star Belgrade, the stadium where they have like the super narrow tunnel. It's got like graffiti and like you can hear the fans. Isn't it that one? Because I think you had them a couple years ago, right?
We did have them a few years ago.
I think it's that really weird tunnel where it's like super narrow and it looks like you're walking through some dodgy area about to get smashed up differently.
Guys, I know you guys said there's no surprise in here. To me, Red Star Belgrade being fourth is a surprise for me. Why am I saying this? I'm saying the surprise for me because they have lots of names, the pedigree. They play the Champions League for many years, and you expect them to be above young boys. Young boys haven't shown much of they don't have much of experience in Champions League. Probably 3-4 years. They have been a little bit consistent in the Champions League, but Red Star Belgrade have been there for many years. As I've been watching Champions League games. So to me, I think it's a surprise to see them in the fourth place instead of young boys taking that.
I think we can give Antwerp some, give them some credit. It was their first Champions League appearance, and they did quite well to get 3 points.
Oh, that's the Group H. Okay,
the Group H. So
yeah, that's a Group H. Is there any surprises in here?
No.
Shakhtar over Porto. You guys expect Porto to do better?
I think Porto should have been getting out of that group.
Yeah, I mean Ukrainian league. They've been out for quite a long time. You don't expect them to have that.
No, they still play. They still play their league, but they just don't play it in their country. Basically,
what do they play the league then?
I think they play in Poland, if I'm not mistaken. I think they play it in Poland.
Okay.
Or I think Champions League ones they move around a bit. I think Poland and maybe another country. But yeah, they don't play in Ukraine. They play elsewhere so that they can still play and stuff.
I've seen the comments. It's a long story. All right, so I won't get into it. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the last one. I'm very happy to have Ryan here. Ryan is very tired. Yeah, he's been counting all the money at the bank. Too much. He's got too much money.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching, yeah. All right, so we have I think we've talked about all the groups, isn't it?
Yeah, we talked about all the ones that were today because we spoke on the ones from yesterday.
Yeah, so we've talked about all the groups. So I think it's about time we close the sharing page and then we go back to our main page. I have Steven up there on the right hand side and have Mr. Liverpool down on the right hand side. Guys, we have discussed a lot today. You have anything you guys want to add to it? Any news that we haven't talked about? All right, I'll go to Mr. Ryan. Mr. Ryan, I have some few things I want to say to you. If you have any highlights or headlines regarding Liverpool, can you send it to me? Don't send it to the group. You can send it to the group and also send it directly to me so I can add it to the content so we can also talk about it. I'll be streaming a bit late for the whole week. I don't know about next week, since we have you, so we can have some more Liverpool chats on the show.
Absolutely, yeah. I think there's some rumors that we might be recalling one of our young players from loan because of the injury problems. That was been circulating in the news yesterday and today. And then unfortunately more injuries.
More injuries. And any of the players recovering? How close is Alcantara?
New Year.
Oh, New Year's
what did he do? Was it his ACL or something?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't his ACL. He has a recurring what is it? I think it's hamstring injury.
Oh, mad. Because he done it back in last year, right?
Yeah, wasn't it? Sure.
I was gonna show the video, but I don't know if this video is already been on YouTube. If it's been on YouTube, I could be in big trouble. So I don't want to. Yeah, I'm watching the tunnel with lots of police people in there, Steven.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about Red Star Belgrade, how intimidating that tunnel is. It looks like you're about to get smashed.
Yeah, you should be scared if you're going to a football game to play a football game and you see all these police officers.
Though, like, putting that in there, like, the intimidation as an away team going there.
Yeah, no. This is really highly intimidating. You'd be scared going to play in a stadium like this. Too much graffiti everywhere, Steven and Ryan.
That's in the tunnel.
No light. It's dark. Ryan, you need to click on it to see.
To smash up your player.
This is scary, Ryan. This is scary. But how did they draw all these graffitis? We're not security. Is the stadium not locked?
They've probably done it on purpose. They probably got like somebody to do it that actually.
So if what you're saying on purpose mean to intimidate the away fans,
that's what I was saying about not the fans, the players.
No, the players. There. Yeah, away players. To get them scared.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just forget that, man. I respect it though. Like that is some next level intimidation.
Is it?
It's narrow tunnel as well.
Ghetto. You come to the ghetto land. This is not just football. It's war. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. I like the way they've done it. If you guys, KFC, you can click on it and watch it. If you're in the group, you can click on it and see that video. It's very, very funny. Very, very funny. KFC. Mr. Ryan, are you done with all the Liverpool updates for now?
Done with the Liverpool updates. I just want to, as a parting message, just to sum up in conclusion, just that I am
before you conclude, hold on. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Harvey Elliott, right? Is he Harvey Elliott?
Harvey Elliott.
Yeah,
that's a Liverpool player, right? He's a Liverpool player. I'm talking about. I forgot his name right now. I think because I brought Liverpool's team in. This player that Manchester City bought from Leeds United in the midfield. He plays the same role as Rodri. Calvin Phillips. You know he looks like Harvey Elliott, right? A little bit. Oh no, maybe no. But yeah, Liverpool, Manchester City spent over 45 million or 43 million on him, and they have the idea that they're not going to play him. Do you think that they've ruined the player's career? Oh, would you say Avi should Calvin Phillips should regret himself moving to Manchester City, or would you say that he should be fortunate that he's won almost everything in association football? So although he hasn't got much of playing time, with the 12 medals that he won, he should be grateful for that and move away from Manchester City this January if he wants to make Euros.
Yeah, he can be grateful for the trophies, but he didn't contribute to any of them, really. He's just sat on the bench and he's had just like the utopian job that we all dream of, getting paid millions for doing nothing. He's 28 years old now, so he definitely needs to move on, whether it's a loan or a permanent transfer. And he did feature tonight for Man City. They won, and he actually scored a penalty. But it was noticeable at the end of the game. He was waving to the crowd, looked like a goodbye. So I think he knows that was his last game for Man City.
There's talk of him going to Newcastle.
Yeah, that's what I had right now. That's what I had. I think that he need to move on. But do you think he need a game time to play in the Euro? Does he have to move to a football club to get game time to play in the Euro?
He's getting picked anyway.
Most definitely. I think Southgate said that
before he picks him because we don't have many people that are able to do that role.
Yeah, to me, I was saying this. I had this somewhere, and I said to me, I don't think that Calvin Phillips need to move to another football club to get game time to be able to make Southgate's squad for the Euro competition, because Southgate have proven that you don't need to be playing out and out in your club to be called in the national team, because Harry Maguire wasn't playing out and out, but he's always been called to play in the national team. Lots of players, and I don't know the criteria at which he's calling players. You know, some are playing consistently and playing very well, likes of Raheem Sterling, who's one of the top players in the English Premier League, who isn't English. He's not being called to represent his own country because of Southgate has personal issue with the players. It's kind of a shame. So I think that he has to move away from Manchester City. He's very, very young, and everybody know what he's done. But guys, there's something I want us to look at later on in next stream. We'll talk about it. One team in the Champions League in the Championship who has brought up some good players, lots of Chelsea players, and who knows Chelsea inside out very, very well. We'll look at that story later when we meet. So, Mr. Ryan, you can conclude it. Summarize everything so we can call it today. It's been an hour, 21 minutes now.
Yeah,
Chaos said field trip. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, it's been a great stream. We've covered a lot of different range of topics, regarding Chelsea, and then also the Champions League and the FIFA Best Women's Award. Just on a final parting point, it's very disappointing to see the amount of social media abuse that Lauren James suffered in the aftermath of the Women's Champions League defeat against Arsenal. Sorry, the Women's Super League defeat against Arsenal. And it's something that Emma Hayes condoned as well. And I think we should all, condone a lot of the vitriol and abhorrent online abuse she suffered. It's unacceptable, really.
I agree with you 100%. Very, very unacceptable. Very, very unacceptable. I don't know. But it is football. Whether men or women, they're all going through this abuse, and something has to give away. It's not good. If you're trying to promote the women football and they get abused for playing football, how can the young ones feel love and then get into the game? So I think that FA has to look at those cameras very well, or maybe social media. Those that are doing that, they need to be punished. Stephen, over to you.
Chelsea actually put out a bit of a statement on that as well. Basically, obviously showing their support and everything like that, and like how they support her and all that. So obviously they had to do it, but let's be honest, they're not gonna do it for no reason. It's not some Napoli BS where there's been some dodgy stuff with Osimhen. We know they actually mean it as well. Yeah. And hopefully if there's anything she needs help with in terms of, because you don't know how that's going to affect a person, so hopefully she'll get support from the club for that as well.
Yeah. All right, thank you very much, Stephen G. Thank you each and every one of you that have been on the show today, and the one watching live on YouTube. Thank you very much for being part of the show. My name is Nee Zion, my co-host Stephen, and another special guest who joined us today. I wouldn't call him a guest; he's my co-host also, but most of the time when I'm streaming early in the day, he's not here. He joins because of his work. But yeah, he's the third co-host. Yeah, third co-host. It's only my show that has 3 co-hosts. Yeah. All right. Mr. Ryan, he's a great Liverpool fan. Mr. Steven is also a Chelsea fan. And I'm also a Chelsea fan. I'm a Chelsea fan too. I want to love you, so I'm still listening along. My brother cooking, but trying not to block anyone today. Absolutely, you dare don't do that. You dare don't do that. I want to try not to do that, please.
That was funny, though.
Yeah. All right, guys.
When that happened.
Yeah.
All
right,
I think I missed that.
Guys. Yeah, I think that was 3 streams ago, isn't it?
I think it was this week.
Yeah. I think 3 streams ago. If I can get my words right.
Yeah. So it was fun.
Yeah. All right, Stephen and Ryan, it's late in the UK. You guys enjoy the rest of the evening. We'll be back again. Midnight. Yeah, very late. It's midnight. I say midnight.
Nearly.
Yeah. So we'll be back again. I want to love you again. Since just cooked spaghetti and homemade sauce.
Kept the phone away the whole time.
Kept my phone away from me the whole time. KLCLOL. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I want to love you. I hope you can hear me. I know you can. All right. So guys, we'll see you again. Have a good night, Ryan, Steven. You guys have a good night. Bye for now.
Esperando.
Leave the Esperandos. Steven.
Oh, I didn't know. Like last time you didn't do it, so I didn't know if you were doing it or what. I didn't know. Because sometimes you do it and you go, that's hang on to hope.
Hang on to hope. Ryan, hang on to hope. Never let your Liverpool go. Okay. Liverpool come back to England with the Europa League. Trust me, Liverpool are favorite. But is Aston Villa there? Is Villa in there?
In what?
Ryan, in the Europa League, is Villa in there?
Yeah, Villa are in the Europa,
yeah. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Good luck, Liverpool. Mr. Ryan, good luck. All right. See you guys again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Blueclouds TV.